Welcome on board the news track. I'm Rahul Kamal. Ayodhya is being decked up for the grand Bhumi Pujan ceremony of the Ram Temple, even as the politics around the Prime Minister's visit to Ayodhya continues to explode. And that's my top focus on the news track tonight.
The 8-day countdown begins to the beginning of the Ram Mandir, as Ayodhya decks up for the big day. Heated pot-shot politics takes over. First Mandir on target, now Modi. Owaisi jumps in, attacks the Prime Minister.
He can definitely attend this function in his individual capacity. But I want to know from the Prime Minister that does Government of India has a religion? Does his government has a religion? No, because the Constitution clearly says that the secularism is part of basic structure of the Constitution.
As thousands of lamps are lit, and Ayodhya waits with bated breath. It's Mandir Politics 2.0.
Asduddin Owaisi is hitting out at the Prime Minister. He'll be squaring off against the BJP's Rajiv Pratap Rudy on the news track. In Ayodhya, the Ram Mandir Bhumi Pujan on the 5th of August is being planned on the scale of Deepavali. Each household in the holy city has been asked to light diyas for 3 days starting the 3rd of August. And on the day of the foundation laying ceremony, close to 1.5 lakh diyas will be glittering all across Ayodhya. The temple town is being decked up and has undergone a makeover. Our Uttar Pradesh Bureau Chief Kumar Abhishek with our lead story tonight.
5th August, the day the foundation is laid for the Ram Temple, will be nothing short of Diwali in Ayodhya. Preparations are underway for a mega glittering ceremony. 1.25 lakh diyas will be lit on the banks of the Saryu River and Ram Ki Pauri and 25 other prominent places. All households have been asked to light diyas for 3 days starting 3rd of August.
हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी अयोध्या के धरती पे आ रहे हैं शिला पूजन करने के लिए। तो कोरोना जैसे महामारी को देखते हुए हम लोग अपने अपने घरों में दीप जलाने के लिए दीप जलाकर उनका स्वागत करने के लिए हम लोग पूरी तैयारी कर रहे हैं।
With the Prime Minister in attendance, Ayodhya is gearing up for the Bhumi Puja. Sources have told India Today that the Prime Minister's chopper will land at Saket University in Ayodhya and the PM will reach the Mandir premises around 11:30 am on 5th August. The Bhumi Puja will last for an hour, after which the Prime Minister will give a speech. Prime Minister Modi is also likely to allocate 500 crore rupees for development of the holy city. A scale model of the Ram Temple will also be unveiled in the presence of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister may be shown a model of the temple earlier digitally, after which the design will be made public. As controversy over the invitees rages on, India Today has learned that initially the Temple Trust had planned to invite 268 people, but the list was altered to keep the number of invitees to 200. 4 blocks of 50 people each will be present during the breaking of ground ceremony. They'll all be seated according to social distancing norms. The first block will have the Prime Minister, Trust members and saints linked to the Mandir. Another block will have prominent saints and seers from across the country. The third block will have VVIPs including BJP veterans LK Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi and also the chief ministers of some states. There will be another block of 50 people consisting of industrialists and senior government officials and bureaucrats. The UP government is going all out to make the ceremony a success. After UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, his deputy Keshav Prasad Maurya visited the holy city to take stock of preparations. He also performed a puja.
5 अगस्त 15 अगस्त की तरह महत्वपूर्ण है। अयोध्या कैसी सजेगी, क्योंकि मास्टर प्लान तो बहुत ही अच्छा है, उसका आप नेतृत्व भी कर रहे हैं, क्या कहेंगे?
अयोध्या नाथ की कृपा से सब अच्छा ही अच्छा होगा।
Paintings depicting the life and times of Lord Ram are being put up across Ayodhya. The city is getting a virtual makeover. The holy city is drenched in divinity and excitement.
कि हमारे अयोध्यावासी सब संत महंत सभी लोग लगे हुए हैं, शासन प्रशासन भी लगा हुआ है कि हम इस कार्यक्रम को इतना भव्य रूप दें कि पूरी दुनिया में लगे कि हाँ अयोध्या कहीं था और अयोध्या है।
As the first building blocks of the Ram temple are set to be placed on 5th August, all roads now seem to be leading to Ayodhya.
The holy city of Ayodhya has been decked up for the Pujan ceremony on 5th of August. The preparation for this grand event is on full swing. The local sadhu seers are in full enthusiasm when Prime Minister Modi will himself come to Ayodhya and lead the Ram Pujan on that D-Day. With Sanjay Singh, this is Kumar Abhishek in Ayodhya for India Today.
You know, for a sense of the preparations on the ground, let's go across live and exclusive to Ayodhya. I'm privileged to be joined on the news track tonight by Mahant Satyendra Das, the chief priest of the Ram Lalla from Ayodhya. He's been performing the puja of the Ram Lalla in Ayodhya for more than 3 decades. Mahant Satyendra Das जी, स्वागत है आपका इंडिया टुडे पे। आप हमें बताएं प्लीज़ हमारे दर्शकों को कि किस तरह की तैयारियां आप कर रहे हैं। 5 अगस्त को प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जब आएंगे अयोध्या में, जब भगवान राम के इस भव्य मंदिर का जो भूमि पूजन है वो होगा, उसके लिए किस तरह की आप लोग फिलहाल तैयारियां कर रहे हैं अयोध्या में? महेंद्र सत्येंद्र दास, आपको आवाज़ आ रही है?
देखिए, पूरी तैयारियां हो रही हैं, किसी प्रकार का कोई भी परेशानी नहीं होगी। जितने लोगों को, जी हाँ बोल रहा हूँ, जी बोलिए बोलिए, जितने लोग इनवाइट किए गए हैं सभी लोग आएंगे। और सबसे विशेषता ये है कि जितने भी हमारे भारत में तीर्थ स्थान हैं, सभी तीर्थ स्थानों का मिट्टी और जल, जितने नदियां हैं उनके जल, जितने धर्म स्थान उनकी मिट्टी, सब एकत्रित किया जा रहा है। और इसी भूमि पूजन में सबके सब उपयोग किए जाएंगे। समस्त देवताओं का आवाहन होगा, सभी देवताओं की वो पूजा होगी। तो जितनी तैयारियां होना चाहिए वो सारी तैयारी पूरा हो चुका है। अब केवल 8 तारीख को माननीय श्री प्रधानमंत्री जी को आना है, क्योंकि उन्हीं के कर कमलों द्वारा भूमि पूजन होना है और आधारशिला रखा जाना है। तो यहाँ तैयारी में किसी प्रकार कोई कमी नहीं है, पूरी व्यवस्था हो चुकी है। और अभी 2-3 अभी बाकी है जो समय, इस समय में जो भी अवशेष कार्य हैं उसको भी पूर्ण कर लिया जाएगा। पूरी अयोध्या को इस रूप से दर्शित किया जाएगा, रंगाया जा रहा है कि मालूम पड़े कि वस्तुतः अयोध्या कितनी सुंदर है और किस प्रकार की है, और लोग देखने वाले या लालायित रहें और देख करके बहुत प्रसन्न रहें। तो सारा अयोध्या और सारे क्षेत्र बिल्कुल पूर्णतया व्यवस्थित हैं और अतिशीघ्र ही वह समय जब आएगा तो सारे कार्य संपन्न किए जाएंगे।
We're also joined live at this time by Swami Govind Dev Giriji Maharaj. He's a member of the Ram Temple Trust from Pune, one of the 15 members of this trust. He's known for his discourses on the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, and holy books on spiritual sciences. Swami Govind Dev Maharaj जी, स्वागत है आपका। आप मेंबर हैं इस राम टेम्पल ट्रस्ट के। जितने भी लोग देख रहे हैं सब बहुत लंबे अरसे से कई लोग इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं कि भगवान राम का टेम्पल यहाँ पर बनेगा। आपके हिसाब से इस पूरे कार्य में कितना वक्त लगेगा? किस तारीख तक जो लोग इस वक्त देख रहे हैं और जानना चाह रहे हैं कि अयोध्या में आके भगवान राम की वो पूजा कर पाएंगे, कब से संपन्न हो पाएगा?
हमारी बैठकों में हम लोगों ने जो चर्चाएं की, उन सब चर्चाओं के अनुसार हम लोगों को इसमें कम से कम 3 वर्ष लगेंगे, 3.5 से अधिक वर्ष बिल्कुल नहीं लगेंगे।
और आपका विजन क्या है? जो ये राम टेम्पल ट्रस्ट है उनका विजन क्या है कि अयोध्या में जो राम टेम्पल बन रहा है, जब उसकी तुलना भारत में जो बाकी मंदिर हैं और विश्व भर में जैसे रोम में है और जेरूसलम में है, उनसे जब आप तुलना करेंगे तो आपका विजन क्या है?
दुनिया में बहुत सारी बड़ी बड़ी नगरियां हैं, बहुत बड़े बड़े शहर हैं, राजधानियां हैं। ध्यान में ये लेना चाहिए कि विश्व में सबसे पहली बसाई हुई राजधानी अयोध्या है। मानवेंद्रेण मनुना सेयम निर्मिता। वाल्मीकि रामायण में स्वयं ये वर्णन आया है कि सरयू के तट पर राजर्षि मनु ने स्वयं इस नगरी का निर्माण किया और अपनी राजधानी के रूप में इसका स्वीकार किया। हमारे संपूर्ण इतिहास में, हमारे पौराणिक वाङ्मय में महाभारत से भी पूर्व रामायण हुई और राम कथा के संपूर्ण वंश का जहाँ से आरंभ हुआ है वो अयोध्या नगरी है। इसलिए विश्व की यह सबसे प्रथम राजधानी है और सबसे महान नगरी रही है।
All right, we'll of course keep coming back to you for a lot more, but for the time being, महंत सत्येंद्र दास and स्वामी गोविंद देव गिरी जी महाराज हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए, अपनी बात रखने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। As these preparations are on, there's also a massive political debate that's playing itself out. As the date for the Ram Mandir Bhumi Puja nears, politics around it is getting louder. Today, AIMIM chief Asduddin Owaisi questioned the Prime Minister's presence at the event. Owaisi said that Narendra Modi's visit for the foundation laying ceremony will be unconstitutional. With just over a week to go for the Bhumi Puja, Mandir politics 2.0 is escalating sharply.
In a week's time, Prime Minister Modi will be in Ayodhya to participate in the Bhumi Puja of the Ram Temple. In the splendor and harmony of preparations for the grand event, politics continue to rage on. AIMIM chief and MP Asduddin Owaisi is the latest to wade into the Bhumi Puja row. Owaisi says that Narendra Modi can't attend the breaking of ground ceremony as the Prime Minister of a secular nation, as it will be a violation of the constitutional oath.
The Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, should not attend this event as the Prime Minister of this country. He can definitely attend this function in his individual capacity. The Prime Minister also has freedom of religion. Every Indian citizen has freedom of religion. But I want to know from the Prime Minister that does Government of India has a religion? Does his government has a religion? No, because the Constitution clearly says that the secularism is part of basic structure of the Constitution. The Government of India has no religion. The Government of India celebrates all religion. The Government of India even celebrates those people who don't believe in God.
Owaisi also raked up the Babri Mosque demolition, saying that he cannot forget that over 400-year-old structure was demolished by a criminal mob.
May I also remind the whole nation that this is going to come up on a masjid. For 500 years a masjid stood over there. Had Babri Masjid not been demolished, what would have been the fate? You are opening wounds, you are not joining the country. People who are accused of this crime are being called to that function.
With elaborate plans for the ceremony already made, Owaisi's statements came under fire.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में निर्णय आ गया है। इसमें ओवैसी कुछ बोलें या अन्य कोई कुछ बोलें, उसके बोलने से पहले विचार करना चाहिए कि वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का विरोध कर रहे हैं। ओवैसी का वक्तव्य बिल्कुल गलत है और उनके वक्तव्य को सुनने के बाद ऐसा लगता है कि ओवैसी पढ़े लिखे नहीं हैं, उनको इतिहास की जानकारी नहीं है, उनको अयोध्या की जानकारी नहीं है।
प्रधानमंत्री जी अगर एक लॉफुल काम के लिए जा रहे, एक ऐसे काम के लिए जिसको सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि हाँ ठीक है होना चाहिए, तो उसमें असंवैधानिक या गलत क्या है? प्रधानमंत्री का जाना कानून के भी सम्मत है, जन भावनाओं के भी सम्मत है, संविधान के भी सम्मत है।
There seems to be no end to politics over the Bhumi Pujan. From Maharashtra Chief Uddhav Thackeray, who demanded that the ceremony be held virtually, to Congress's Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, who said that the former Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi, who delivered the Ayodhya verdict, should also be invited for the temple event.
जो ये समारोह की जो आयोजन करते हैं उन लोगों को ये पेशकश की कि इस समारोह में चीफ जस्टिस रंजन गोगोई जी को निमंत्रण दिया जाए, बुलाया जाए, नहीं तो हमारा चीफ जस्टिस के ऊपर सही ढंग से जस्टिस नहीं होगा।
With just 8 days to go for the foundation of the Ram Mandir to be laid, and with an extremely emotive issue taking center stage, the political fireworks are only expected to explode. Bureau Report, India Today.
Is Asaduddin Owaisi merely playing politics, or does he have strong rationale and reasons to question the Prime Minister's visit to Ayodhya? Joining us on this broadcast, I want to welcome first Mr. Rajiv Pratap Rudy, spokesperson of the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, squaring off against him, Member of Parliament and leader of the AIMIM, Asaduddin Owaisi, and we've got Atikur Rahman, who's an Islamic scholar. I want to go across to Rajiv Rudy and get the BJP sense first on whether the Prime Minister is going in his individual capacity. Does he go as Prime Minister of India? And what do you make of Asaduddin Owaisi's objections to the Prime Minister in a secular country going to a religious Bhumi Pujan? Mr. Rajiv Rudy.
I've heard what Mr. Owaisi has said, and he's talking about the visit of the Prime Minister is unconstitutional. Well, he fails to recall that he is going on the invite of the trust, and that is an invitation which has been accepted by the Prime Minister. I have some very basic questions to Mr. Owaisi, and I do not know whether he responded to these things or not. Dr. Kalam visited ISKCON temple, he visited Vaishno Devi, he visited Tirupati. Why didn't he object to that then? PM Modi took Abe to Sidi Sayed Mosque in Gujarat. I hope Mr. Owaisi remembers that. Vajpayee visited Babri Mosque in 2003 in Tunisia. I think Owaisi would answer that he should have also not gone there. Somnath Temple the foundation stone was laid by late Dr. Rajendra Prasad in 1951. He shouldn't have gone there. This is a long, even on the 350th year, CM Nitish Kumar invited the Prime Minister for the Guru Parv in Patna Gurdwara Sahib. Prime Minister should not have gone then, as per Mr. Owaisi. And then all these acts which have been performed, and not to forget Rajiv Gandhi and late Indira Gandhi, who visited the Pitambara temple several times. So I'm sure Mr. Owaisi would be able to answer that all these people who visited these temples or religious places, including the former presidents of India, including Dr. Pranab Mukherjee, went to Devghar and visited Devghar and had a puja of Baba there. All this was unconstitutional. I'm sure Mr. Owaisi will answer this.
Okay, so I just want to tell our viewers that the responses that you'll hear from Mr. Owaisi have been taped in advance, but I put that question to him and asked him about his objections, because multiple times previous heads of state have been to religious functions, so it's not as if this is happening for the first time. So why then, Mr. Owaisi, are you playing politics and objecting to the Prime Minister's Bhumi Pujan at the founding stone of the Ayodhya Ram Temple?
I have said that the Prime Minister should not attend this Bhumi Pujan function in his capacity as the Prime Minister of India. Why? Because the Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, and his government has no religion. Does Government of India has a religion? No. Does this great country of ours has a religion? No. This country celebrates every religion. In fact, this country even celebrates people who don't believe in any God. The Prime Minister can attend this function if he wants in his individual capacity. Let the Prime Minister tell the nation that I am going there in my individual capacity, and no live telecast should be done of my attending this Bhumi Pujan. So that is why we have strong objection, because the Prime Minister has taken oath on the Constitution of India, and secularism is the basic structure of our Constitution. And we hope and I request the Prime Minister that he lives up to his constitutional duty and he does not violate his oath and he does not violate his commitment towards secularism, which is basic structure of the Constitution.
But leaders in the past have been for religious functions, and this distinction between being okay if you go as an individual but not as a Prime Minister hasn't been drawn in the past. So how is it okay now if it hadn't ever been a function in the past? It almost seems as if you're just playing politics, Mr. Owaisi.
Your question is right. The Prime Minister, we know he belongs to which religion. The nation knows which belief he belongs to, what ideology he follows. But can he superimpose his religion as a constitutional head on the whole nation? No. That is the mere objection. Under Article 25, the Prime Minister and his cabinet minister have all the freedom to follow a particular religion. But can they use that constitutional office to superimpose their religious views on the nation? No, because that will be violating the oath which they have taken, that will be violating their constitutional commitment, and secularism is the basic structure of our Constitution.
Do you think of this, Mr. Rudy, as a threat to India's secularism project, that there are many who don't believe in religion and therefore when the Prime Minister goes, it somehow offends those who are A, not Hindu, or B, those who don't believe in religion at all?
I really don't understand how the visit of the Prime Minister as a Prime Minister or as an individual desecrates secularism. And this is a big question. I understand Mr. Owaisi has to exist in politics by dividing the society, putting strains in the system by raising questions. And well, the Prime Minister in an individual capacity or as a Prime Minister, as any other Prime Minister or any other titular head or any President of India, or for that matter even visiting dignitaries, have a right to visit religious places, whether it is for religious function, whether it's for worship, whether it's for foundation. I think history is that, and that is actually secularism. If Mr. Owaisi had asked one question, and I would repeat, will the Prime Minister also come for the masjid which has to be created there? Possibly that would have been a very valid question. But trying to challenge an individual who is also the Prime Minister and the most popular individual in the world is something which he is trying to put venom in the society. He's trying to, so the Prime Minister will go, should go, and all of us must appreciate this point that the act of the Prime Minister in itself is very, very secularist.
Atikur Rahman, is Assuddin Owaisi and the AIM merely playing politics? Because the Prime Minister has been to a mosque. He went to a mosque in the UAE. Now you can question why he hasn't been to one in India, but leaders in India have been for religious functions many a times in the past. If trying to draw this distinction between coming out and saying it's in your individual capacity or as the Prime Minister, does that make any sense at all, Atikur Rahman?
Rahul, mark my words. This is to me slow poisoning of not only the Constitution but all the basic ideals of the Constitution, in particular secularism. Mr. Rudy may tell that no, it's not killing of secularism. Rahul, you are witness so many times all BJP spokespersons have on your channel committed that the 1976 inclusion of secularism in the basic structure is not accepted by the spokespersons of the BJP. Mr. Rudy, you have to come clean. Today you tell the nation whether your spokespersons are correct or whether they are misleading the people of India. Time and again they question the inclusion of secularism by Mrs. Gandhi.
Now what does this have to do with the Prime Minister going to Ayodhya?
Rahul, yes, I am coming to that. Rahul, not only the Prime Minister visiting Ayodhya, but look at the people who will be accompanying the Prime Minister. Are they not guilty? Are they not under trial? Are they not the same people who violated the promise to the Supreme Court that the masjid won't be hurt? And is Mr. Owaisi wrong in asking them for 500 long years? There was a masjid, and on its ashes you are building a temple. And is it not a reality that still the BJP was on such a
Okay,
weak ground
let Rajiv
that
Rudi
the
respond to
Supreme Court
that.
took a
That the
special
Prime
provision
Minister may be flanked
as a
while
trust.
he is at Ayodhya by the likes of Lal Krishna Advani, by the likes of Murli Manohar Joshi, who are currently undergoing trial for their involvement in the demolition of the Babri Masjid, and if they are found culpable, they could be convicted, leading them to become convicted in that very serious case of demolishing the Babri Masjid. And therefore, how is it okay at a time when they are being charged with the demolition of the Babri Masjid to be at this Bhumi Pujan? You are almost celebrating what they did, which in law is wrong if that case can be proven against them.
An offence is an offence. An offence is tried in the court, it's investigated, and I don't think that has anything to do with the present discussion. Here the challenge, and my colleagues and my friend and Mr. Owaisi and other friends are challenging the right of an individual to visit a temple, or a right of the Prime Minister to be there, or even as a Prime Minister to have that prerogative to visit a place where foundation stone has to be laid, and that also on the invite of the trust, which is being recognized with the Supreme Court. The decision per se is a constitutional decision. And to be a part of a decision which has been set, it has been put in order, the nation has accepted it, to create a divisive voice over it is something which possibly every Indian who is watching this show, or every Indian who has a faith in a particular community, would say that this is poisoning the Indian secular system.
Let me put that question to Assuddin Owaisi, because after the Supreme Court verdict came out, both parties came out and said that they were satisfied, or at least some people in the Muslim community also accepted that okay, it was a reasonable verdict, and by and large since then there has been peace. There have been some murmurs of protest, but it's not as if Indian society has been torn asunder as many people had feared. By making such provocative statements right ahead of the Prime Minister's visit, are you not just trying to stoke that controversy and try and play politics? Assuddin Owaisi.
This particular, legally, the judgment has come, that is the last court of appeal. But this episode will not be closed. Till I live, I will be telling my family, my people, and the people of India, who are in majority who believe in justice, that on 6th of December 1992, a masjid stood over there, which was demolished by these people. And had the masjid not been demolished, this function would not have been held.
No, but you're also objecting to the live telecast. You're also objecting to the live telecast of the Prime Minister's visit. The reality, sir, is that if you don't want to watch the live telecast, just turn your TV off. Don't have your phone on at that time. There are many people who'd like to watch. It's a big moment for them. It's a big moment for which they waited for decades. If they want to watch the live telecast, why should they be stopped from doing so? If you don't want to watch the live telecast, we respect that. You're welcome to turn your TV off. But those who want to watch, surely this is a big moment for them, and they should be allowed to join in celebration, in that ceremony, marking that great moment. No, but let Atikur Rahman respond to that question about this objection to live telecast. If there are people who would like to watch, why should they not have the right? If you don't want to watch, Mr. Rahman, that's fine. Don't watch.
No, Rahul, it is not the question of me or Mr. Owaisi turning off the TV. Like I said, who are participating in it? The same people who are, a case going against a conspiracy. If tomorrow they are held guilty, will the people of India will be saying with a high head that yes, these are the people, now they are in jail and they were there in the foundation laying ceremony? Is it good for a country like India? Is this Ram stood for on? And Mr. Rudi is now saying secularism, Rahul. Tell me, was it not essential for the same Prime Minister and the BJP to have a mutual ceremony of a masjid and a mandir foundation laying? Where is the masjid? Where is the place? Time and again the BHP has said, not within the borders of Ayodhya, there will be a masjid. Okay, Mr. Rudi, in conclusion, do you want to answer that? It's great that
a Ram temple is being built, but there was also a promise that there would be there would be a masjid as well. There's no clarity about when, where, and in fact, it's correct that there are many in the right-wing fringe who've said that हम यहाँ masjid नहीं बनने देंगे, nowhere in Ayodhya. How do you respond to that, Mr. Rudy?
Well, for me to understand the situation, the beautiful mandir is going to come up there, and my mother, who is 85 now, has nothing to do with what happened in Babri Masjid or what happened in Ayodhya. But she would love to watch it, and there would be crores of Indians who would love to watch it. So, and they would also love to watch the Prime Minister go there, and all those who can reach there, and whatever restrictions are there, we would all love to do it. So that takes your answer of part A. But as far as the Supreme Court has delivered a judgment, and there is a piece of land which has to be given, so it doesn't matter who says what. Whatever has been decided constitutionally and what has been decided by the Supreme Court holds good for everyone. That holds good for me, for Mr. Owaisi, and everyone for that matter. So when you're trying to dispute
you're not answering my question, sir. What about the masjid? There was to be a masjid built in Ayodhya as well. Yeah. That's part of the Supreme Court judgment. There's so much preparation for the temple, no clarity on the masjid.
Well, I'm sure there would be people working on that. I'm not aware about it, but they should become active. I think Mr. Owaisi should start working on that.
No, but why Mr. Owaisi? It's everyone's equal responsibility. Why should it be Mr. Owaisi's responsibility? As you want the rest of society to get involved in the temple project, surely it's a collective responsibility this as well.
Whoever has got the responsibility, I would not. That is the most unfortunate part. That those who have been talking 100 times about the demolition, they are not talking about the construction of the mosque there. So that is one thing which actually you have put a very valid question. It's not Rajiv Pratap Rudy who is going to do that, or it's not the individuals who are going to do that. It has to be an organization. So all these people who are speaking so strongly against the Prime Minister.
No, but sir, before that land has to be allocated,
they should take a lead.
The district authority and the state government has to allocate land and tell them where they can construct the masjid.
So yes. So those who are the beneficiary of it and those who have to do it should move it. Okay. And if someone stops it, that is a big question.
I promise I'll follow up on this story. We're not just focusing on the temple being built.
Question is that
we will look at what's happening about that one masjid, because that's part of the Supreme Court judgment as well, and that is important too, even as we mark this moment of the Bhumi Pujan. For the time being, Mr. Rajiv Pratap Rudy, Asuddin Owaisi and Atikur Rahman for joining me on the News Track. Thank you very much.